There's always one person at a wedding who ends up being the problem. I just didn't think it would be me. Not when I started this whole journey as the supportive stay-in-my-lane sister. But that's how things tend to go when secrets are buried under picture-perfect smiles and someone finally stops playing nice. My sister Claire and I grew up in a very normal family. Regular income, regular problems, regular love. Nothing fancy, but everything honest. We had movie nights, shouted during Monopoly, and always had each other's backs. Claire was the beautiful one. Clear skin, perfect smile, naturally graceful. I was the sarcastic one, the one who took a little longer to figure out life, career, relationships. But we were close, until Hugo. He swept into her life with tailored suits, private dining clubs, and the kind of family that donates to museums and pretends not to notice racism at country clubs. Still, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Claire loved him. That's what mattered, right? Wrong. From the moment they got engaged, it was clear this wedding wasn't going to be about Claire. It was about them. Hugo's family, mostly his mother Celeste, ran the show. She appointed herself head planner, dictated colors, themes, floral arrangements, seating charts. Everything had to be appropriate. Every guest, including friends and family, had to be vetted. It was like watching Claire morph into a version of herself I barely recognized. Quiet, agreeable, desperate to belong. I tried to talk to her, told her I missed the old her, the real her. She just stared at me and said, "Don't ruin this for me. If you do anything to mess this up, you're out. You're not coming." She meant it. So I played along. I bit my tongue through every snide comment from her future mother-in-law, every awkward moment where Hugo looked at me a little too long, too hard. He had a way of making your skin crawl without even touching you. But I said nothing. For Claire. Then came the joint wedding weekend. Both families had separate events, hen night and stag do, but all stayed at the same luxurious resort. I wasn't in the mood for forced bonding, so I stuck to the bar. That's where I ended up talking to Hugo's younger sister, who was a few espresso martinis deep. "You know," she said, twirling her straw. I was surprised the kid didn't get an invite. "What kid?" I asked, blinking. She laughed. "Hugo's, from years ago, with the nanny's daughter. Thought everyone knew." She took another sip, unfazed. "Massive scandal. Mum nearly had a breakdown. But hush-hush now. I guess they made her sign something. Kids like, what, 6? 7? I felt like the floor tilted beneath me. I didn't know what to do. Claire had no idea. I knew she didn't. She would have told me. But if I told her now, the day before her wedding, it would destroy her. And if I kept quiet, I'd be part of the lie. I went to bed that night, nauseous, heart-pounding, brain-spinning in circles. The next day, I watched Claire get ready. She looked stunning, a literal dream, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. She looked too happy, too hopeful. So I smiled. I helped her into her dress. I said nothing. The ceremony was beautiful. The vows were like poetry. Even I cried. For a moment, I thought maybe I could live with this secret forever. Maybe it wasn't my place. Maybe it wouldn't matter. But then came the reception. The speeches started. Lovely words, laughter, then subtle jabs. Hugo went up and began with a charming anecdote, then turned his attention to me. And to Claire's sister. Still figuring things out. No rush, right? We can't all be as lucky in love as Claire. People chuckled. Celeste took the mic next and said, "I always admire women who know what they want, like Claire, so composed, so stable. Some of us take a bit longer." More laughter. Even my dad joked, "Well, at least one of our daughters got it right." I felt myself shrink. I forced a smile. I downed 2 more shots of tequila. Then Hugo looked at me again during the father-daughter dance. That look, that smug, slithery smile. That's when something in me snapped. So when the DJ handed me the mic for the maid of honor speech, I stood up and said, "I just hope Hugo's love child enjoyed the popsicles at the kids' table." At first it didn't register. Then Claire's face slowly changed. Confusion, hurt, then horror. What child?" she whispered. Celeste's wine glass shattered as it dropped from her hand. Gasps echoed across the room. Someone's fork clattered onto a plate. Hugo's jaw tightened and his eyes shot toward his sister, who looked like she wanted to disappear. "What is she talking about, Hugo?" Claire asked, louder now. "What child?" he stammered, tried to pull her aside, but she pushed him away. "Is it true?" she demanded. "Do you have a child?" And then came the most gut-wrenching sound. Claire sobbing like her heart had cracked in half. Chaos erupted. Celeste was screaming about disgrace and ruined reputations. My parents were frozen. Claire was shaking, mascara running, veil off. Guests whispered, some filmed. Others stared at me like I was a monster. I didn't run. I didn't cry. I just stood there. I wasn't the one who had a secret child. I wasn't the one who lied. I wasn't the one who built a marriage on sand, but I was the one who told the truth. And in their world, that made me the villain. Later that night, Claire's phone went to voicemail. My parents wouldn't look at me. Hugo tried to claim I misunderstood, but the damage was done. It wasn't just about the child. It was about the deception, the performance, the lies stacked on lies. I left that wedding alone. No thank you for the speech, no slice of cake, no ride back. Just silence. And the sharp sting of knowing I'd probably lost my sister. But sometimes silence is the real betrayal. And if telling the truth makes me the bad guy, then I'll wear that title proudly. Because someone had to say it.